Hello, beautiful people. We are back again. I just finished, center myself. I just finished eating my lunch and my brain was starting to decompress. Naturally, we got a docket alert. Hit that like button, if you will. Shout out to everybody who's here, who's watching. Shout out to all the members here and all the subscribers here, all the members on Patreon, and all the supporters on the Substacks. It's good to see y'all. For some of you, this is your second go around already today. We had a time in the live this morning. Okay, we were rare air. Hey, me and the chat, we were both in rare air. Oh boy, we had a really good medium black interlude. So check that out when you get a chance. But yes, we are gathered here quickly, briefly, because the judge has issued an order in the bail request, denied it. We had a live just yesterday, although it feels a lot longer ago than that, but it was yesterday. We had a live yesterday where we looked at a statement that had come in, submitted by the defense, written by, spoiler alert, she didn't write it, but written by victim number 3, previous girlfriend of Diddy's, who refused to testify at trial. There has been a rumor inserted into the culture by Diddy's former bodyguard that she received $2 million in other incentives to not testify against him. She popped up on the docket yesterday submitting a letter to the court saying that he should be released from jail. And this is after she, went on her own little self-funded media blitz and, explained to the public how he stomped on her till she couldn't breathe and damn near pulled her hair out of her head, punched her in the back of the head, played psychological, emotionally abusive games with her. All of a sudden, in writing, she knows him as primarily a family man and a man who exudes nothing but love, and said that he had been nothing but, you know, um, forthcoming during the investigation, and he followed all the rules, and just a, a fan fiction. That's what it was. It was fan fiction. And I would imagine that the court found it pretty insulting to their intelligence for you to have the gall to not testify. Welcome to the membership level, Spooky Ariel. And then to send the court a letter and say that the court needs to consider your judgment of Sean Diddy Combs above its own judgment. Didn't even acknowledge the fact that he had been convicted. Said, well, I know he stands charged of some things, but I see nothing but somebody who embodies love and is dedicated to being a father first. Our relationship had some bumps in the road, but I left it a better woman than when I entered it. Paraphrasing. It's a bunch of absolute caca and an insult to the court and, to anybody who is familiar with her statements about his abusive behavior, and then turning around and trying to play the court like they're dumb. Just stupid. So, that didn't go over. That didn't have any influence on the court, because the court said, no, you can't go. Pink doo-doo head. Pink doo-doo head. Girls don't fart, but she does. I said what I said. I said what I said. So, defendant Sean Combs renews his request for bail pending his sentencing. On this application, Combs doesn't contest that detention is mandatory for his crimes of conviction. He relies solely on the limited exception to mandatory detention, where 1, the court finds by clear and convincing evidence that the person is not likely to flee or pose a danger to the safety of any other person or the community if released. And 2, if there are exceptional reasons why such person's detention wouldn't be appropriate. Exceptional reasons, as an example, exist where there is a unique combination of circumstances giving rise to situations that are out of the ordinary. Let me see if I can make sure I understand this. This statutory framework creates a presumption in favor of detention that places a plainly substantial burden of proof on the defendant seeking release. As for risk of flight or danger, Combs fails to meet his burden by clear and convincing evidence for the reasons set forth on the record at the July 2, 2025 hearing. Increasing the amount of bond or devising additional conditions doesn't change the calculus given the circumstances and heavy burden of proof that Combs bears. On this basis alone, Combs' application is denied. Increasing the amount of bond or devising additional conditions doesn't change the calculus given the circumstances and heavy burden of proof that Combs bears. At trial, the defense conceded the defendant's violence in his personal relationships. This type of violence, which happens behind closed doors, is impossible to police with conditions. On this basis alone, Combs' application is denied. Even if the flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting a departure from what Congress has required. This is the judge talking to all you armchair enthusiasts who still don't know how to interpret the sentencing guidelines and have been spouting off in your content. Congress said this, Congress said that. You don't understand legislation or its application. You don't understand guidelines or their application. That little word in there is for you. Even if the flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting a departure from what Congress has required. Combs' Mann Act arguments might have traction in a case that didn't involve evidence of violence, coercion, or subjugation in connection with the acts of prostitution at issue for which he was convicted. Said all of this in my sentencing video. But the record here contains evidence of all three: coercion, subjugation, and violence. While Combs may contend at sentencing that this evidence should be discounted and that what happened was nothing more than a case of willing swingers utilizing the voluntary services of escorts for their mutual pleasure, the government takes the opposite view. That Cassie Ventura and Jane were beaten, coerced, threatened, lied to, and victimized by Combs as part of their participation in these events. That makes this case unlike any of the cases Combs points to and places it outside the narrow exception to detention that Congress otherwise deemed mandatory. To be clear, as indicated at the July 2nd hearing, the court offers no view as to how the parties' competing arguments about the evidence will cash out for purposes of sentencing, which is happening in just 60 days. At this juncture, however, the record doesn't establish the kind of out of the ordinary, exceptional circumstances requiring immediate release.
Scott, open the door. Mr. Scott, now.
Good night and good luck. Combs also points to squalor and danger at the Metropolitan Detention Center, conditions that he says have been aggravated by the federal government's aggressive budget cuts this year. The public outcry concerning these conditions has come from all corners. But as Combs acknowledges, MDC staff has been able to keep him safe and attend to his needs, even during an incident of threatened violence from an inmate. In United States v. Chavez, the court found that the conditions at the MDC rose to the level of exceptional reasons warranting release where it was undisputed that the defendant posed no risk of flight or danger, and where unique circumstances counseled release, including the defendant's advanced age and serious medical conditions, which require care that the MDC may not be able to provide. This is from another case, not his case. Those facts are not presented here. And nothing in Chavez suggests that exceptional reasons warrant release for every person awaiting sentencing and in the MDC. Rather, the MDC is a factor, admittedly a serious one, to consider along with others in making that determination. For these reasons, as well as all of the reasons I told you the last time your ass wasn't going home on July the 2nd, Combs fails to satisfy his burden to demonstrate an entitlement to release. The motion for bail is denied. This is a rational person. Didn't nobody say anything about keeping somebody in jail forever? Nobody who hosts this channel has said they need to bury him forever. He should do life. I ain't never said that shit. You don't watch this channel. That's biscuit head assery behavior. We don't need it. Y'all smash that like button. So Diddy has been denied bail. Again, I think this is I don't know, 4th or 5th time he's been denied bail, and the judge has said the same thing every time. And, they worked weeks and weeks and weeks, I'm certain of it, on this most recent request, and they didn't get it. And I thought to myself, when I first read this current petition for bail, why didn't he send this to the appeals court? And I think it's because this is faster. Unless he can come up with some sort of emergency reason for the appeals court to take this up and make a decision in like 72 hours, they're going to take their sweet ass time. So might he file an appeal to the appeals court? He may. He could try that. He could try a habeas appeal petition challenging his detention. They're going to have to come up with new reasons because the judge went through case law and said, creative writing, very nice. Not actually what the law says. Not actually what congressional guidelines say. So they'll have to come up with something else, submit it to the appeals court. They'd have to come up with a reason for them to give them a speedy decision. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit there until they get to it and until they have time to put a ruling together. And they are definitely not guaranteed to do that in 60 days or less. So, as an efficiency, this was the quickest way for him to try again to get bail. He could file an appeal. If he doesn't have an emergency reason, it's just gonna sit there. So, I don't think he's going anywhere before sentencing. This judge is not going to let him out. That should have been evident on the day he was on the day he was found guilty. Motherfuckers wanna be in denial about facts and their opinion. I mean, it was. It was creative writing. Dan Jr. asks, "Is the sentencing date still October 2025?" Yes, it is. October 3rd, 2025. And both sides agreed to that because there is a lot that goes into the pre-sentencing process. A lot that goes into it. And the prosecution has to put together their recommendations. The defense has to put together their recommendations. Pre-sentencing services has to put together their recommendations, which can be debatable. Like, pre-sentencing services basically comes up with a draft of what their recommendations are going to be to the court, and then both sides get to see it and get to, because everybody, all 3 entities are working off of the sentencing guidelines and their interpretation of them. Prosecution is working off of the sentencing guidelines and their interpretation for the sentence that they want. Defense is doing the same. Pretrial services is doing the same. I mean, pre-sentencing services is doing the same. Pre-sentencing services puts together their draft. Both parties get to look at it and get to challenge any information in the draft that may impact years. So they can challenge it, doesn't mean they're gonna win it. So there's a little bit of a process there before pre-sentencing issues their final report to the court and saying, "This is what our recommendation is for sentencing." And the judge, too, is also going off of the sentencing guidelines, which there are a lot of quick take people out there that are saying, "Congress has, said that judges cannot go above the." Within and above are 2 different things. Nobody said go outside of, and also, the sentencing guidelines are not mandatory. So, a judge has a lot of leeway. So, people who are squawking on them, "Congress said this, Congress said," these people are the same people who are like, "He's gonna get out the same day. Time served. He gonna get home detention." That abusive piece of shit is still in jail. And this judge isn't gonna let him out. So, October 3rd, unless he comes up with some other gimmick to try it again, maybe he'll suddenly get sick. But she was not persuasive. Diddy wouldn't hurt a fly. I have all faith that he will follow every court. How would you know? How would you know? And how is it that you think you have the integrity to spread your word anywhere near the court and they're going to take it seriously? You refuse to testify. Period. You weren't called by the defense because then the prosecution would have access to you. So you just agreed for some odd reason. I'm sick. $2 million. I'm not going to testify. But I'm going to write a letter to the court. He's an angel, embodies nothing but love, patience, kindness, and is a father first. You ain't got no kids together. How would you know? You said your relationship was personal, you fucked him, and professional, you worked for him. You're not friends. You're not confidants. You're on the payroll. Did you not hear her letter? Did you not hear her letter? How dare you? How dare you sully that man, that good man, Savannah? See if I can find it. Oh, here it is. How you gonna sully this good man? This embodiment, the physical embodiment of love. That's all he is the physical embodiment of love. Full sentence served. All you people hopping up into the comments, it's only going to serve 85% of it. Be quiet and go away. You're not intelligent enough to be on this channel. From my experience, I have seen him primarily as a father, a family man, and a businessman, roles he has always striven to uphold. Mhm, mhm. I provide this letter to share my observations about his character. The character of the man who stomped on my stomach until I couldn't breathe. And to respectfully request that the court permit his release on bond while the case proceeds. Biscuithead, the case is over. He was convicted. I acknowledge and respect that Mr. Combs stands accused, and the court must weigh public safety and the integrity of the legal process. But I believe it is important for the court to have a full picture of who he is beyond the allegations. Hello, you've got Mel. Thank you for the $50 contribution to the channel. I appreciate you so much. If folks want to help out with that big ass docket bill that's due on Monday, D2B2 sent a nice, I think 50 to the Cash App mods. Drop them Cash App and them Venmos. I got somewhere between 300 and 350 left to raise so I can pay off that big ass immediate docket bill, as I have said many times. I appreciate everybody who contributes through YouTube. I don't get that money until a month after, if not longer. Yeah, this I will get at the end of September. So if you want to support the docket fund and the immediate docket bill that is due on the 11th before they suspend my account, we don't want that because we're waiting for something real important, like hit up the Cash App and the Venmos. I can pay that bad boy all the way down. Our relationship, like many, was not always perfect. Oh no, we experienced ups and downs and mistakes were made, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. Tampering with evidence in his cell, good example of better decisions in the future. Yes, he's an upstanding man, Savannah. Yes, he is. Over the years that followed, he made visible efforts to become a better person and to address the harm he had caused. By visible, do you mean the video that he posted on social media admitting that he beat another woman? Is that why what you mean by visible progress? Yes, okay. Where he said he was disgusted with himself. Oh, an introspective man. We love it. By the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love. He is the most arrogant motherfucker on the planet. He's trying to reclaim that love moniker, and that is disgusting. I've said this since day one. I've said this since day one. What solidified for me that Diddy was an abuser was the day he announced that he changed his name to Love. Because a name is what people address you as. And you are trying to force somebody, or a few somebodies in particular, to call you Love. By the time our relationship ended, he embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness. Oh, yeah, gentleness. I'm pretty sure the staff at the college where he went scared the shit out of everybody over one of his children would agree. He's just a gentleman, Savannah, a gentleman. I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or the community because she's got that experience to have that judgment. His family depends on him for financial and emotional support. Well, get a fucking job. Call a therapist. You've been through some traumatic shit. Over the last year and a half, you realize your dad's an abusive piece of shit. I want to assure the court, me, just me, nobody else, just me, because that's all that matters here. I want to assure the court that if released, I believe, and that's all that matters here, is what I believe. Mr. Combs will adhere to all conditions. Obviously, he's a good boy, Savannah. All conditions imposed and will not jeopardize his freedom or the well being of his family. I'm pretty sure he already did that. Allowing him to be at home will also support the healing process for all involved. How would you know? You weren't there. You didn't testify. You weren't in court. You weren't sitting in court while Cassie was testifying, or Jane, or anybody else impacted by him. No, no, no. How do you know about other people's healing process? Are you their confidant? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So anyway, miss, I'm not going to testify in a federal case against a man who stomped me out, almost ripped my hair out of my head, beat me senseless, and then played little mind games about who was the good person and who was the evil person, me or Cassie, and then allegedly paid me $2 million, got me an apartment, is paying my tuition and all that other shit. This woman is a biscuit head. So yeah, for some reason, Shamel, Antoinette, thank you. Appreciate you. The court did not find her persuasive. In her outdated letter, this letter reads like it was written for one of his previous bail hearings and they never submitted it. Because it's written like he hasn't been convicted of anything. I understand he stands charged and the case needs to proceed and whatnot. No, the case is over. He's not charged, he's convicted. He's going to sentencing. So they probably had it and didn't use it and then decided to use it now. She's absurd. And I'm sure they have all access to all the things. And, if they could prove witness tampering to that degree, I'm sure they'd do something about it in a normal world under a normal administration. In a normal world under a normal administration, especially in the Southern District of New York, they don't play, and they don't play when they get played with. But that's under normal circumstances and under a normal administration, and we're currently not in normal times, okay? And it's not a normal administration, so we'll see, what comes of that. I thought it was interesting that Donald said, "It's harder it's harder to pardon Sean Combs because he said things about me that were not good." And then he said, "He's half innocent." Oh, you mean guilty? He said, "He's not all the way innocent. He's about halfway innocent." Oh, so guilty. You fucking criminal ass motherfucker. You can't even say it about another man. So who knows what's going to happen on that front, but it failed to sway people from focusing on Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently, so did moving nuclear fucking submarines to threaten Russia. Russia was like, "Girl, get a hold of yourself." And the media was like, "Okay, put it at the bottom of the front page because we have 10,000 other things, including Jeffrey Epstein, above the fold where the president is concerned." Oh gosh, yeah. So keep your ass in jail where you belong. Jesus Christ, it's not complicated. Right, right. Titties for everybody but him. I changed my mind. Cell block 1 titties for Diddy. I'm a generous woman. Hmm. Well, um, that's that on that. Not much more to say, Fiona. Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Can I do math? This is the question. Can I do math? 130, 45, 145 towards the bill. Nice. Appreciate y'all very much. Shoot. Not Big Mike's. Not Big Mike's titty. Listen, I've been out of pocket all day. Okay? I've been out of pocket all day. If you don't know, catch the video from earlier today. You don't have to watch the whole live. I clipped the the section in question into its own video. We were so deliciously bad this morning's live. Oh gosh, I'm gonna enjoy replaying that later. Thank you to everybody who contributed. I appreciate it. I really do. I don't want to hear about Diddy like Weinstein and Cosby. I just don't. I don't wanna hear about this shit for the whole time that you're in jail. Just like what's his bucket? The bald boy who got stabbed with the hair plugs. Daystar. I'm so sick of him. I'm so sick of him and his fucking antics. It is crazy to me how people think playing games in a court of law is gonna get them what they want and that they pay money for that. Stupid. Stupid. Hello, beautiful. I'm already knowing. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But these people are just so pathetic. I'm just so, yeah, disgusted over it, all of that. Damn work. Yeah, it's been an eventful Monday. It has been an eventful Monday. You'll listen, I'll say this, okay, about the champagne cotton segment. Rare air. We were in rare air. I was in rare form. The chat was in rare form. We got on a bus and we rolled the hell together. Okay? Greased up stripper pole straight down to hell. You might want to wait. You might want to wait. You might choke on some food or drink. You're definitely going to laugh out loud. I'm just saying, you are going to laugh out loud. No matter how hard you try not to, you're going to laugh out loud at work in front of everybody. With your little earbuds in, people just going to think, yeah, she crazy. Yeah, she crazy. Then they going to ask you. And then they going to just, somebody going to casually come by. Karen, I heard you laughing earlier. Like, what was so funny? And once you hear it and you know what it is, you will understand why you can't tell Karen. You cannot tell Karen what you were laughing at. Oh, uncouth, no couths. Void a couth. Yeah, yeah. So, I hope it gives people a good laugh on this otherwise Monday. Monday. Oh, fantastic. This is the perfect environment to be in. Matter of fact, I had to order the groceries, and I was like, after I got off live, I ordered groceries and made lunch, and I was like, I'm out of popcorn. Let me get some jujubes and some licorice. Because it is straight foolishness. We act like yeah, boy. The Aubrey nicknames got taken to a whole nother level. And you think that the thumbnail is revealing, but baby, you ain't prepared. I wasn't prepared either. It was great. It was great. Well, that's it. I don't really have anything else. The only other thing that happened, I think, since the last live was Gunna announced an album. Also dropping on Friday. These niggas just don't want to tell us stuff so we can prepare. You got to get in line behind everybody else who dropping. Did anybody else hear about this before today? Because we've established I don't pay attention, so me not knowing doesn't mean anything. But I do listen to y'all. I listen, I pay attention. I ain't heard word one about Gunna having an album dropping on Friday. Anybody? Anybody? Oh, Lord. Hassan, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. This is his last project with on the YSL label. Their label, right? Again. I'm not the demo. Gunna still here. Young Thug's still mad. Album dropping Friday. So I take that to mean you didn't hear anything about it. You got to be pretty, I don't know what. It's Monday. You got a whole album dropping on Friday? Maybe he don't care? I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Same day. The 8th. That's why I said you got to get in line behind everybody else. Got a couple people doing something this week on Friday. All right, well, now you know you're welcome. Gonna new album Friday, I guess. Again, you're not Beyonce, and you're not the Beyonce of rap. You're not even the Beyonce of your school of rap. You're not the Beyonce of your class of rappers. Monday to Friday is nuts. Monday to Friday is nuts. I really don't know who you think you are. So I guess we'll see. Is it gonna do whatever it's gonna do? I don't know if it's gonna make it do what it do, but it's gonna do whatever it's gonna do. Lord of mercy. I think rollout is a strong word here. Okay. I think rollout is a strong word. We ain't seen nothing but an announcement. No single with it. Rollout is a strong word, you know? We just got an announcement. Let's see if any fucking thing substantial happens over the next 24 hours. I don't know. 4 hours. I mean, 4 days is just, that's dumb. That's dumb. So, yeah, well, that was it. Diddy's sitting in jail, and yeah, go back to your day. Thanks for stopping in. Shout out to the replay gang. I don't want anything else to happen except for the thing that we're waiting for to happen. But shit keeps happening, so I keep popping up. But if I had it my way, you wouldn't sink my ass. until we actually have the thing that we want. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. Beyonce of the low. I'm hanging up on y'all. Goodbye. Got something started in the last live, and now y'all just out here, little fire starters. Bye.